Some stories don't begin with a moment. They begin with a feeling. This is one of those stories. Ethan had learned how to live with noise. Not the loud kind, the quiet noise. The kind you carry inside your chest when you pretend you're fine every day. In the city, mornings came too early. The air felt heavy, and the light from people's phones was brighter than their faces. Ethan worked. He smiled when he had to. He answered messages he didn't care about. And every night, when he finally sat down on his bed, the room felt too small. He would stare out at the buildings and watch the windows glow. Hundreds of lives stacked on top of each other. And somehow, he still felt alone. One evening, Ethan's phone buzzed with a message he didn't expect. A name he hadn't seen in years. Sophea. He opened it slowly. The message was short. "The rice fields are golden again." Ethan read it twice, then a third time, like the words might change. They didn't. And yet, something inside him did. He remembered the village, the smell of wet earth after rain, the sound of insects at night. He remembered her too, not perfectly, but enough to feel the ache of how long it had been. 2 days later, Ethan was on a bus heading away from the city. He carried one bag, a bottle of water, and a feeling he couldn't explain. Outside the window, the buildings began to disappear. Concrete turned into open land. Noise turned into distance. The bus hummed forward, steady and patient. Ethan rested his head against the glass, and for the first time in a long time, he felt his shoulders drop, like his body finally understood it didn't have to fight anymore. When the bus stopped, the air felt different, cleaner, softer. The sky looked bigger here. Ethan stepped down onto the road and stood still for a moment. No horns, no rushing footsteps, just wind, and the distant sound of life moving slowly. He walked along a narrow dirt path beside fields of green and gold. Each step felt like the world was giving him back something he didn't know he had lost. And then he saw her. Sophea stood near the river where the water reflected the sky. She wasn't doing anything dramatic. She was simply there, calm and real like she had always been. Ethan stopped walking. For a second he wondered if he was imagining it, but the breeze moved her hair. The sunlight touched her shoulder. She turned slightly and he knew. It was her. They didn't run toward each other. They didn't act like movies. Sophea just looked at him, as if she had been expecting him the whole time. "You came," she said. Ethan nodded. "I needed to." They walked slowly along the path side by side. Some people fill silence with words. Sophea didn't. She let the quiet stay quiet, and somehow it felt safe. Ethan told her about the city, the speed, the pressure, the strange feeling of being surrounded and still feeling unseen. Sophea listened the way people listen when they're not waiting to speak. Then she said softly, "It sounds heavy." Ethan exhaled. "It is." Sophea reached into her basket and offered him a mango. "Eat," she said. "It tastes better out here." Ethan took it carefully. It wasn't just fruit, it was kindness, offered without asking for anything back. That evening, clouds gathered fast. The wind shifted. The fields darkened. Rain started as a whisper, then turned into a downpour. Ethan stepped into the rain alone. He didn't know why. Maybe he needed the storm to match what he was feeling inside. Water ran down his face, soaked through his shirt, and he stood there letting it all happen. Then, a small glow appeared across the field. A lantern, moving slowly, searching. Sophea. When she reached him, she didn't scold him. She held the lantern higher, lighting his face through the rain. "I couldn't find you," she said. Her voice was steady, but her eyes were worried. Ethan swallowed. "I'm here." Sophea stepped closer, not to hold him, just to be near enough that he didn't feel alone in the storm. And in that moment, Ethan realized something simple. Peace isn't always a place. Sometimes, it's a person. Later that night, Sophia brought him home. Her family was gathered around a table, sharing food and quiet laughter. An oil lamp glowed softly, turning the room into warmth. Ethan sat among them, unsure if he deserved to feel so comfortable. Sophia's mother placed food in front of him the way mothers do when they decide you matter. No big questions, no pressure, just a meal. And for the first time in a long time, Ethan felt like he belonged somewhere without having to earn it. The next day, the world felt washed clean. The rice fields glowed under the sun, and the river moved slowly, like it had all the time in the world. At sunset, Ethan and Sophia walked beside the canal. They didn't talk much. They didn't need to. Ethan looked at the horizon and felt something he hadn't felt in years. Space. Not empty space, but room to breathe. He turned slightly toward Sophia. "I don't know what happens next," he admitted. Sophia nodded gently. "That's okay." She looked toward the fading sun. "Some roads don't end," she said. "They wait." Ethan smiled, not because everything was solved, but because he finally understood he wasn't alone anymore. Some stories aren't about choosing where to stay. They're about remembering where you began. If you enjoy stories like this, subscribe and return for the next one. The horizon is always waiting.